Well, we are in the soon-to-be worldly renowned The Landing at Parker Creek with owner, founder, everyone's favorite person on the lake, Herb Winches.
Oh, thank you, Paige, and welcome to 2020, and a lot of exciting things going on Lake Martin. And I got to compliment you and your business with Love Lake Martin. You've branded it, you've grown it, and now you're doing a lot of special things on this lake, and this lake is on fire.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. The Landing, as successful as it is, believe it or not, is only open 22 weekends a year. So what does Herb Winches do in off season?
Well, Herb tries to stay very active because I've recently had another one of those birthdays, and they're adding up pretty quickly. But Paige, I'm one of these that I got to be a doer. I want to stay in the game.
Yes.
And you reach an age where it's not about the money as much as it is about the challenge. So what I do in the off season, I've been a lobbyist in Montgomery for the last 8-9 years. I represent several different clients. I do that and really enjoy it because my second hobby, other than sports in the day, is I like to follow politics. So I like that game. It's a challenge. It's a full contact sport.
Yes.
So I get in the middle of it in Montgomery. And then besides that, I'm preparing for so many things here for the Landing, and this is my real love and my real passion.
Okay, you helped us have a huge victory here at Lake Martin. Tell them about County Road 2.
County Road 2, I appeared before the Coosa County Commission. I counted them 5 times, and thank goodness, I know some people had a problem with the fuel tax passing, but I was behind that because we need the infrastructure in this state.
Yes.
It's sad, especially our secondary roads, and that's what we have coming into the Landing. And the biggest complaint I've got from all the customers is, Herb, I may have to get a new set of tires when I come back here because it was rough road. I'm happy to announce that Tad Eason, who has done a great job as a county engineer, Coosa County engineer, that the tax money is now being distributed, and the first bit of that money is trickling in. And by the end of February this month, you're going to see that there'll be a big transition on County Road 2. They're going to reclaim it, they're going to tear it up, and they're going to put it back together with smooth asphalt, and they're even going to stripe it, but it's going to be a different feel, and it's going to help us bring more traffic into the Landing.
Yes. Your business, the properties all around here.
Yes.
Thank you. That was not an easy thing to pass, was it?
It was pretty politically challenged, but we got it done. And so now we're just counting down the days till they start the reclamation out there. You know, of course, I believe to stay ahead of the game that you've got to change. And I believe in changing the menu. And we're keeping all the staples that everybody loves, the cheese curds and the stuff like that. But as far as entrees, the one thing that the chef and I talked about, Tori Hall, who is marvelous, and I'm happy to say every employee that we've had over the last 4 years, you know, it's part-time work, it's seasonal, but every single employee is coming back to be a part of our team. We're excited about that, obviously. But he's the main cog, he's the driver of this bus. And he and I sat down a couple of weeks ago over lunch. We went over the menu, we pared some things down, then we added. I wanted to go with more entrees because, you know, the thing that I noticed here is we get some of the same clientele Friday night, Saturday, Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
So I felt it was time that we added more to the menu to give more selection for entrees, and that's what we've done.
Hey guys, I'm so fired up. You know, the Landing's one of the coolest places on the lake, and I've got actually Tori Hall here.
Hey, how you doing, Lake Martin?
It's just been a blast to see what you guys have done here, and man, tell us what you're excited about, and maybe what's your favorite thing on the menu, or that might be hard.
I'm excited about that we're kind of, you know, exploding this lake, and everybody can get fed fast, and they're happy, and we got some really good entrees at night. We got a crab stuffed mahi with a Mai Tai butter sauce, a little coconut ginger rice, and then we have a blue cheese crusted filet with truffle mashed potatoes and a red wine demi. All this food is better than anywhere you can get on the lake, and you know, it's affordable.
Wait, are you still talking about the Landing?
We're talking about the Landing.
Brother, that's amazing. That sounds really, really awesome.
The greatest atmosphere and the food on the lake, so come and join us.
Time's the charm.
Right?
Going to the table with it? Let's do it.
Hey, we are with a true professional today. We are with Herb Winches, the owner of the hottest place on Lake Martin in lovely Parker Creek, The Landing. Welcome.
Well, that's nice of you to say. The hottest place. I like that, Paige.
Well, it's true. Have you always been a water person? What's your draw?
I'll tell you the history there, and I got to give credit to my dear friend of nearly 40 years, Terry Henley, who owns the Parker Creek water system. Terry, years ago, said, Herb, come down to our lake house, you and Betty. Let's spend the weekend. We're going to an Auburn game. I said, I'd love to. The first time I came on this lake was 13 years ago, and we stayed over at Terry's house, and he took me all around Lake Martin. I fell in love with it. I said, where have I been? I've been in Birmingham forever, and I'd never been on Lake Martin. I said, Terry, if you see anything available, and sure enough, the home we live in now came available. He called me. Betty and I came down here. He took us to our house, and we bought it on the spot, and we've been down here. This will be our 13th year on Lake Martin.
We're at the Landing, and we love Lake Martin. Woo!
Hey, Herb, so tell us about your menu a little bit. I know you got a few changes that you've mentioned, but can you kind of expand on that just a little bit?
Yeah, and welcome, Trey. And I really think
you.
it's important that, change is important. And by change, I mean adding, maybe deleting some items to make it just something even more special. So a lot of the guests that come will have more selection. And we've done that with our menu. We're adding more entrees. I've had 2 to 3, now I'm going to 4. And we think that's important. And I think it's stuff that people like. I'm bringing the pork chop back, for instance, that everybody loves so much. It's going to be an orange glaze because our chef, Torrey Hall, I think he's a 5-star chef. And I think that's the success of the Landing is people like our chef. And of course, we're in the midst of doing that now. We'll have a new look menu, but don't worry, folks. We're going to keep all the staples
All
that
the
you used
favorites,
to.
yeah.
The favorites folded. We're just adding to it because we have a lot of guests, Trey, that as we track this, that it's not like in a big city, say whether it's Birmingham or Montgomery, where you may go to a restaurant, a nice white tablecloth, you won't go back the next week or the next week. But here on the lake,
Multiple times a week.
multiple times a weekend, we have the same faces that come here. So we wanted to make it a little more enjoyable, so that's why we've added the menu.
That's good. Well, I think it would be a shame if we didn't mention one of our favorite things on the menu, and that is the hubcap margarita. So it is such a staple for us every time we come, and I know there's a story behind that. So if you could share that, I think that everybody'd love to hear that.
The quick story is this, and I don't want to bore anybody, but when we started this, it doesn't take long till somebody, maybe your competition or somebody, will turn you in. There was a complaint filed with the ABC board in Montgomery. And their agents came out and they told us that we couldn't do this, that this was against the law. And so when I learned that, I immediately stopped. In the meantime, little did I know, there was a really famous guy that I think we all know if you're a parrot head, Jimmy Buffett, who owns his sister has Lulu's down in Orange Beach. He got involved because that's Alabama. And he appeared before the state legislature and he talked to different individuals. It only took about a week later until they dropped it and they said, okay, you can continue to sell them.
That's great.
So that tells you a little bit about something about a name that's pretty big and widely known. And so that's the story behind it. We got back in business because of the great Jimmy Buffett.
Well, we love them. It's a staple here. Come have a hubcap margarita and come see the expanded menu.
It's going to be fun. We're going to make it better for you. Love Lake Martin.